flowers phila kuwo izinto zininzi sekukudala ngizama kodwa ubomi abutshintshi.
This is a part 2 of the mukbang plus story time. If you haven't watched part 1, I'll suggest that you do that now.
I did not have food. That's where also the psychological aspect of it came to play a huge role in terms of healing me from this thing that I lack in. What do I mean by this? There's this saying in our culture or within closer people that like a mother hustles, né? And they say that as a mother you always want to give hope to your kids, right? So they always make a reference of how a mother could be in a house without food with their kids, but to give hope to those kids, the mother would make fire and put a pot there and just put water all the time, put water on that pot. Whenever the water is about to get finished on the pot, she will pour again, just to give the kids hope that, you know, she's still in the process of making what they need or what they need to eat, but that's not what is happening, but she's just playing like a trick, a mind trick on them. Like, honestly guys, I don't know how to translate this. This only makes sense in like closer, and I don't want to speak my language for all those people that don't understand it. So that's why I'm like kind of like explaining it. I hope it makes sense. But that was what was happening to me now when I was in varsity, when I was actually there alone, you know, having no one to call and say, you know what, I need help with A, B, C, and D. Till this day, for me, it's so hard for me to call someone and say, you know, help me with A, B, C, and D, because people sometimes don't understand, you know, like someone will never understand your stance up until in their lives as well they were in that same position, you know, because it could be that because I'm a kid, I'm in varsity, and we know that varsity kids would call home and ask for things just for them to go out and stuff like that. They would never really truly understand that you might be in need of this thing, you know. And one thing about me is that I'm a person that fears rejection, you know. Even for me till this day, and even some of my classmates that pay attention to me would testify to this. For me, it's also very hard to approach people in class that I can work with for group works, because I have that thing, Yoba. If I approach somebody and they say no, what do I say? Like, how do I turn and go back to ask the next person? Because for me it's like a dead end, or even the next person, that's what they're gonna say, so I'm already doomed. Most of my group work assignments, I do them by myself because I have this fear of rejection when I approach somebody else. So that's kind of like the same situation, even with me having to ask for help from somebody, because I don't want it to get to that point where somebody is annoyed or irritated by just hearing my name because I'm always asking for things, right? Cool. So yeah, I hadn't eaten in like days or whatsoever. So I tell this nurse, like, I break everything down to her, because I could see that she was not gonna let it go up until like I talk, and she can see that I don't want to talk about this, but like she's insisting. Oh, cool. And then from then they were like, okay, they're gonna I have to go for like counseling, stuff like that, and get help and whatsoever, blah 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 blah. So I was like, okay, cool, I will do this for you, because they had written like a referral letter for me to go and see somebody that I can talk to, because this is a lot that I'm going through, and I'm a kid and I don't have no one and stuff like that. And obviously Nomsa's family was there, because they told me that whenever I need anything or I miss home, I want to feel like I'm at home, I can always go to their house and just stay there, even if Namsa is not there and stuff like that. But for me, I felt like it was going to be too much, you know. I didn't want to be a burden on them, you know. So the nurse was like concerned about that as well, the fact that I'm always so considerate of the people that could help me. I don't want to kind of like reach out because I'm scared of, you know, being rejected and stuff like that. Cool. So after this whole saga, so now I'm also getting so emotional about this because obviously reality hadn't sinked in properly on me, but this is what I'm going through. And at the same time, I can't like call home and tell my mom, Guti, this is what's going on and stuff like that, because I don't want to get her to be worried about me as well. Cool. Then the results came, and then they're like, they can see Guti, there's like something tampering with my liver, so I need to go and see a doctor, like a proper doctor. Because I'm getting this here, I'm seeing nurses. So luckily at the time I had medical aid, so I went to Mediclinic for further tests because they could detect if there was something that was tampering with my liver. So sharp, I went to Mediclinic, they also did the test, and then that was when they told me that I was diagnosed with a liver condition. But yeah, that's when it happened, and they said that it was not anything hectic. What did they say it is, Kenny? What liver condition is it? But it's a harmless liver condition. It's not like hectic, but it can be. The problem with it, apparently it's like a genetic type of liver condition, and also it needs to be nurtured, because if I do not nurture it, it could result in me getting jaundice and potentially like my skin peeling off, and I could die, because apparently a liver is not like a heart, it can't be replaced and stuff like that. So I had to be placed on like a strict diet because I also had a low iron, you know, so whenever it gets too hot in Porch, I would faint or have a headache or stuff like that, because I wasn't adjusting to like the weather and stuff like that. And I think even that was caused by the liver condition that I had, or have rather. So yeah, then they told me that, and then okay, I was placed in, like from then, that was when like I was really forced to go and see like somebody, and then I was referred even to like the social workers so that they can see how I can be helped in terms of like getting food from the school and stuff like that. It was a whole trauma, like not traumatic as in like traumatic, but like it was a whole new different experience. And obviously I had to break the news to my mom because she had to know, because anyway the medical aid was gonna notify her of all the things that happened at the hospital. And then yeah, basically that's what happened. Then from then I started going for counseling, and then I was okay. They helped me. I don't think I want to talk about that because I don't want to be emotional here. But yeah, I got help. And then yeah guys, I'm so off now. Drinking water. Yeah, so basically that's what happened. I got counseling. I got help from the school. I remember even this other time when I was like kicked out of class, not kicked out of class, but I was going to be kicked out of class because I didn't have a textbook for a certain module. And then there was like one lecture of mine that was like, baby girl, what do you do? So like I told her as well like what I was going through, which I would not dwell too much on. And at the time she was the one that like made sure that, you know, I don't, because like with the nurses, they helped me in terms of like, okay, knowing that I'm diagnosed with this and I have to be on this strict diet for like a month or two. One of the other things that I'm not supposed to go through is like stress. If I have so much stress, then it's gonna take a toll on me, and it might temper with my condition, because at this point it's like this close. So they don't want it to get to that point where it's just like it's hectic and stuff like that. So I had to adhere to those strict regulations or ways of me living, right? Cool. Up until the time when I met that lecturer of mine that helped me in terms of like getting NSFAS, and everything was okay. And the only reason why I also got NSFAS, it was because of my good academic record, because I never repeated any module. So I initially wrote like a student request at school to explain to them like my situation, what I was going through, and also I had the referral letter from the clinic going for counseling, and also I had the medical certificate from Mediclinic to prove like my condition in terms of my health and stuff like that. So then I went to write that student request form from the school, and then the school was the one that asked for NSFAS to fund me based on all these things that I had provided them with. Because when I applied for NSFAS, they rejected me, and they rejected me because both my parents apparently were appearing on their system and stuff like that. So both of them, their income combined, it's like over the amount that they restrict in terms of giving people like the funding and stuff like that. But then in my case, my dad was absent, and obviously there was no way of proving that or anything like that. So I tried, but they rejected me so many times up until the school had to step in, and then I got my NSFAS, and this year I'm doing my last year, and next year I'll be graduating. Guys, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I never thought in a million years that I would get to this point, and with everything that I went through in varsity, I'm honestly grateful to God, because he saw through everything that I went through, and he told himself that, you know, I'm gonna see a victory someday. And I'm really so grateful, even with the platform of having to sit here today and, you know, tell you guys about this story. And the story I'm telling you because I want you to not give up. I want you, in that situation that you're in right now, pray to God that he comes and heals you, and please never stop believing, And I know that some people do not believe, and this is not me trying to inflict my beliefs upon you. Do what heals you, but for me, that's what healed me. And if I were to advise somebody else of something that can get you through, that can get you out of such situation, it definitely is God, because I've seen him move in my life. But for me, what always moves me is my name, you know, because I know that he is the God who hears. And if he's able to hear me when I pray to him, obviously it's not going to be impossible for him to hear you when you pray. So never stop believing, because even me at that point when I was diagnosed with that liver condition, I felt like my life is coming to an end. I felt like I'll never live to see another day. And even today, I still do cherish my today, because I do not know what tomorrow could bring me. So that's why I always make the best out of my today. People that know me know that I love taking risks, even with this channel, you know. If I need a certain equipment, I make sure when I get money I buy it instantly, because I do not know what my tomorrow holds. Because, you know, I have this thing that could make me leave the world any day. Not that I'm scared, I'm not scared, but like I want, when that happened, for me to have lived or fulfilled my purpose, and that is to help people, and that is to change lives through my own story, through the things that I went through. So if there's anything that I want you to take from this video, it will definitely be that. So yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna end it off. Love you guys. Please do take care of yourself and keeping on.